Stephen Cordeño right here with the great Jim Lampley. Man, a lot of a very eventful few days. I feel like I talked to you at the beginning of the week, and there's a whole week of stuff to talk to you about. Just first, let's talk about, Gervonta Tank Davis. He's cut from a different cloth, like a Roberto Duran type, kind of one of those type guys, right?
Yeah, American style, American urban style, and he really delivered all that with a great deal of forceful energy on the stage in the news conference. And I asked him, I said, trying to throw him off stride, trying to knock him back a little bit, trying to get under his skin, trying to intimidate him. He said, yeah, there's some of that in all of it, but it's also a way of selling the fight. And this is my way of selling the fight because I am Tank Davis. And I asked him, I said, is some of it to try to anger him so that he might make the mistake that sets up the chance for you to land a big punch? And he smiled and said, yeah, that's a part of it too. So I think Tank was being Tank, and he was in character, and maybe it helps him win the fight.
He's kind of one of those, like a Fernando Vargas, like I mentioned, Roberto Duran, that has to, I feel like, not like you a little bit when he's in front of you, like not a little bit, has to not like you, in press conferences and stuff like that to kind of get him up for the fight. Would you agree with something like that?
Oh, I think the analogy is not off base. Yes, Vargas had some of that in him. I loved Fernando. He was a friend of mine. He conducted a months-long campaign trying to get under Oscar De La Hoya's skin, trying to get Mexican-American fans in Southern California to take his side against Oscar De La Hoya, and we all know how that wound up. So at the end of the day, there can be a price to pay for all of that kind of public aggression.
Speaking of that fight, Fernando, I believe, tested positive for a substance after that fight. I remember his abs were like the most ripped I had ever seen. We got to talk about Ryan. It's very, I don't know. Obviously, we're waiting
forgotten
on the
that
B
Fernando
sample.
Tested positive. Yeah,
Right,
I mean,
remember?
Once Oscar landed the left hook, it didn't much matter, did it? So
right. I was going to say that's an instance where the other guy was on something, Oscar cleared, and it didn't matter. Do you think that's the case with Ryan and Devin? That maybe Ryan was on something, but stylistically maybe it didn't matter because the styles worked out the way they did in the ring?
Well, we don't know. I mean, the fact is that Ryan looked spectacularly powerful and hurt Devin with every left hook he landed. And to now argue that the use of performance-enhancing drugs had nothing to do with that, I think that's a hard mountain to climb. Most of us in this room, in the media room, and in the public are going to come to the conclusion, his A sample was dirty, his B sample was dirty, his body was dirty. That had a lot to do with it.
I heard Ryan was going to go to another, like a USADA or somebody else, like another testing for him to do the hair, to do the nails. Let's speculate here, right? If it was a USADA and he got cleared.
I trust Bada. I don't believe Bada lies. I don't believe Bada has any incentive to lie. I know the professionals who set up Bada in the first place. Yes, they were advised by Victor Conte, but that doesn't mean that they do dirty business. Victor Conte went straight a long time ago. So I believe Bada's results.
So you think Ryan's kind of conspiracy theory that he's throwing out that Conte's involved with Bada, maybe that's why it tested positive, you're dismissing that kind of...
It's a story that's available to tell. I just don't happen to believe it.
There it is. Jim, man, we got a great fight tonight. I know we talked about it already. Just does it end in knockout tonight? Did you smell that in the air tonight?
Tank wants it to end in a knockout. Benavidez wants it to end in a knockout. So the question is, do we get to see both Tank and Benavidez doing what they're supposed to do and continuing to push their stars up the ladder in the sport? Leonard Ellerbe went on a couple times today about how Tank is going to become the face of boxing. I think Benavidez has a chance to become the face of boxing. So both of them have a big show tonight.
Definitely. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much, Jim. As always, pleasure.
My
Thank you,
pleasure.
sir.